All right, continuing from before, number 10, find the focus of this equation. Well, this equation is in vertex form, so let's get the vertex first. The vertex is h comma k. It's -10, comma, -8. All right, the focus has an equation which I'll give you. It says the equation of the focus for a vertical parabola, a y equals something x squared parabola, is this. It says parentheses h comma k plus 1 over 4a. All you have to do is plug in h, k, and a into that equation. So we know that this is h. We know that this is k. Well, here's a. All right, so I'm going to plug those three things into this thing over here in blue. So h stays as -10. K is -8 plus 1 over 4 times a. A was 2 over 5. Well, I'll just use a calculator for that second part. You do not do anything with -10. It stays -10. But that second part, this -8 plus 1 over 4 times 2 over 5, I'm using a calculator for that. So let me open this up. So -8 plus the fraction, 1 on top, 4 times another fraction down here. For y equals 2 over 5, close parentheses, gives me -59 over 8. -59 over 8. -59 over 8. And that's it. So all we really needed was a, h, and k, which we know the vertex h, k, a was in the problem. You plug it into that form, which again I give you. And that's it. Number 11, write that in vertex form. Vertex form was y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. So I need a, h, and k. I know a right here. A is 3. I gotta find h and k. Now, h and k is the vertex. So to find the vertex, I do the axis of symmetry formula. So I'll go down here. So let's use red. So axis of symmetry, the AOS is -b over 2a. -b, that means the positive 12 over 2 times a is 3. But then the calculator, 12 over 6 is 2. Alright, so that's the x part's 2. I plug in the AOS to find your y. So plug in AOS to find your y, which is k. So I'm going to do 3 parentheses 2 close parentheses squared minus 12 times 2 plus 5. Plug it into the calculator. So let's see. 4, 12. -12 plus 5 is -7. Alright, remember, we just found our three things. We have h right here, we have k right here, and we have a right there. Those three things go into the equation. So I'm plugging in. So I'm going to leave y alone. A is positive 3, parentheses, x leave alone. H, remember opposite is -2 squared plus k. Okay, is -7, so let's put just -7. That's it. If you're ever unsure, you can just multiply that out to make sure it matches the original, which it does. I don't know why that's there. Alright, number 12. Write the equation of a parabola whose vertex is that and passes through that. Our favorite equation is vertex form. Y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. So we need a, h, and k. We have two of them. We have h right here and k right there. We just need a. They don't have a anywhere, so we have to find it by solving for it. What we're going to do is use that other point, that -4, 6 is our x and y. So I'm going to plug those four things in, the h, k, x, y, into that equation. Y is -6. A we don't know. X is -4. Oops. Opposite of h, so h is -6, is really +6. Close squared plus k, k is 2. So we do the parentheses part first. -4 plus 6 is positive 2. Squared plus 2. Squared next, which is in PEMDAS. So 2 times 2 is 4. So that's 4 times a plus 2. And now just algebra, solve for a. So I'm going to subtract 2. That gives me -8 equals 4a. Divide by 4 both sides. That gives me -2 equals a. We found a. So we have a, h, and k. So we plug in h, we plug in k, and this a into that equation in red, into this one right here. So leave y alone. equals a is -2, parentheses, x opposite of h, that's plus 6, close parentheses squared, plus k is positive 2. That's your answer. Alright, so just find AHK, plug into vertex form. We had to find A by using the other point. 13, write that in vertex form and find the axis of symmetry. Alright, well, vertex form. Let's see, y equals a, parentheses x minus h, squared plus k. We need the vertex and we need a. We have a so far. A is -2, but I gotta find the vertex. So to find the vertex, you gotta do the axis of symmetry. So the AOS is always -b, I don't have the formula. -b over 2a. So -b makes that -20, because a is -2, b is 20, c is missing, c is 0. But we don't need that. 2 over a is -2. Put in calculator, -20 over -4 is positive 5. We know that one's 5. Then you plug in the AOS. So it's -2, close parentheses, open parentheses, 5 is x squared, plus 20 times 5. Use a calculator for that. Let's see, 25, -50, plus 100 is positive 50. Alright, so we have h, which is x versus k, and we have a from up here. I'm going to plug that in. So y is normal. A is, we just found, oh, we have it. It's -2. Leave x alone, opposite of h. So make that a -5 squared plus k is plus 50. There's my equation. It's just from the axis of symmetry. We found it right here. It's at 5. So AOS is x equals 5. Remember, the axis of symmetry is always the x part of the vertex, right here. The value of the max or minimum is the y part. All right, 14. Graph that. That is vertex form. To graph, you need two things. You need the vertex and a. The vertex, remember, change the inside to make it -4. Leave the outside the same, -5. A, we just care that it is negative. Negative means you flip the picture upside down. So when I graph this, I'm in a coordinate plane. I'm just sketching. -4, left 4, -5 is down 5 right here. So let's call that -4, -5. Since A is negative, the picture is upside down. So upside down U, again, I don't care about how tall or wide right now. That's it. That's the answer. So that's all they want. They don't care about domain or range here. All right, the heights of a baseball is that equation. What's the maximum height of baseball? All right, maximum height. They're asking just what is the max? Because, I mean, you throw a baseball up, you know the baseball starts in your hand, goes up, then it goes down. They're trying to find what is maximum right here, which is just the vertex. So to find the vertex, you know you need to do the axis of symmetry because that is standard form. So -b over 2a. -b makes it -100 over 2 times a. A is -16. Remember, a is in front of the x, the squared term. B is in front of the just regular letter. C is that number by itself. I put that in my calculator. I'll use a calculator for that one actually. So let's see, alpha y equals -100 on top, on the bottom 2 times -16. That gives me 25 over 8. All right, that's the x part of the vertex, 25 over 8. To find the y, you got to plug that in. Plug in your AOS. So, all right here, plug in AOS. So -16, parentheses, 25 over 8, squared, plus 100 times 25 over 8, plus 4. All right, all numbers, that means plug in the calculator. So -16, parentheses, alpha y equals 25 over 8, close parentheses, don't forget the square power, plus 100 times that same fraction, alpha y equals 25 over 8. And the side is a plus 4. Answer is 641 over 4. 641 over 4. 641 over 4. 641 over 4. So we now know this point right here. This point is that 25 over 8, comma 641 over 4. We know it's the maximum, the value, max value of 641 over 4. That's the answer. Now, just in case they ask it, to turn that to a decimal, if you need the decimal, just type that fraction without doing alpha y equals 641 over 4 is really 160.25. So that's how high the ball will go. 160.25. What does it say? Didn't say feet or inches. Oh well, didn't tell you. All right. Well, that's 15. 16. Identify the direction of opening of the parabola with this equation. Also find the length of the lattice rectum. So this is just like number 1, or was it 2? I don't remember. So this is the x equals a y squared, a y squared parabola. Remember, y squared is always sideways. If a is positive, you go right. If a is negative, you go left. Since a is positive, it's going this way, right? Because a is positive. All right, so we know the picture is going right. So how do I write this? I'll write direction opening is right. Direction of opening is right, because it's going right. All right, so first one done. Second is find the length of the lattice rectum. This is one of those random formulas I give you. The lattice rectum is the formula absolute value 1 over a. Meaning you just put find a. Well, a is 5. A is this number right here. So that just means absolute value 1 over 5. Remember, if it's the number inside, just make it positive. Absolute value 1 over 5 is still 1 over 5. That's the answer. The length of the lattice rectum. Lattice rectum. Wrote that wrong. Lattice rectum is 1 over 5. So just basically put a underneath 1. That's our answer. So very little work to show here. Just do you know which way, left or right, or up or down, depending on the x squared or y squared, and just put a on underneath 1 in a fraction. All right, 17. Graph that. Again, for graphing, you need 2 things. You need v and a. Our vertex is vertex form. Change the inside, make it positive 9, leave that negative 12. A is negative 1. It's that multiply outside. Negative means the picture will be upside down. It's flipped. It's upside down u. And this is the x squared. So let's see. Right 9, down 12. Let's call this 9, negative 12. Since a is negative, you flip it upside down u. That's the answer. That's all they want. And again, no domain or range. Just can you graph the picture based on what they give you. Vertex form is the quick sketch. 18. Find the coordinates of the focus in the equation of the directrix with that. Okay. All right, because it has the words focus and directrix, I need the vertex. Since that is standard form, y'all know you get to the axis symmetry first. So negative b over 2a. And no, this is a sideways parabola because this is x equals something y squared. So b is in front of the regular letters. So b, negative b makes it positive 16 over 2. A is positive 4. Put that in the calculator. 16 over 8 is 2. Now that formula used to be for our x, but because it's a sideways parabola, that's actually our y, because that's for the quadratic. This is for the right side. It's for those y's. All right, so I know my y is positive 2. To find the x, I got to plug it in. So like before, you plug in your AOS. All right, so it looks like this. So you plug it in, get negative 6 for x. That is our vertex. That's our h comma k. Now we got to plug those into the focus and directrix formula of a sideways parabola, which I'll tell you. So here it is. All right, so all this work popped on the right. Remember, I plugged in the h, which is negative 6, k, which is 2, and this a, which is 4, into those 2 formulas, the focus formula, the directrix formula. I end up with this when you simplify the inside for the focus. I end up with this when you simplify the inside for the directrix. All right, last 2. Graph this. Since it's standard form, you got to find a and v, the vertex and a. All right, I did the work on the side. Vertex is actually symmetry formula. Get 1/2, plug it in, get 3 over 4. A is positive, so for my graph, I go to 1/2 3/4, somewhere over here. Let's call that 1/2 3/4. And a is positive, the u goes up. That's all they want for this. Here's that answer. Last questions right here. For 20, use common sense. They only want y equals ax squared. They want a number for a and x squared by itself. Answer's a, because a is 1 over 40, x squared by itself. They don't want this 10. That's c. They don't want this minus. They don't want h. And this is y squared. So don't you pick those. And that's it.